despite being an introverted nerd and not a natural salesperson either. But in my opinion, this is one of the best books at teaching you how to overcome that, because the author, Brad Jacobs, knows this stuff. I think you kind of pick up a thing or two when you're a billionaire who's built like $3 to $4 billion companies. Something he said in the book totally changed the game for me. He said, if you want to make $1 billion, you have to first think like a billionaire. But I don't want you to hear the word billionaire and think that what we're talking about doesn't apply to you, because it's actually not about the number. It's about the principle which applies at any level. Up until that point, my thinking looked something along the lines of, oh my gosh, if I want to make $100,000 this year, I need to get 3 clients by the end of this sentence. Now, it's good to break down your goals into doable steps, but what you want to look out for are the fears and doubts that can creep in. What this book challenged me to do, and I want to pass on by challenging you too, is to change the way that you think. Because while it might feel like your thoughts control you, it's actually the other way around. You are in control of your thoughts. So for example, when you start thinking that what you want might actually not be possible for you, that's a thought you can change. And you want to change that thought to the thing that the billionaire, aka successful end result version of yourself, would think. Now, maybe you're thinking, I don't know how that version of me would be thinking because I haven't done that yet. I know the challenge of this type of leap. It's a leap, but stick with me here. Think about a time when you did accomplish what you consider to be a big goal. How did you feel and think after having done it? Now think about how that type of transformation might apply to this situation. But I know it's a very difficult thing to just snap your fingers and think differently. That's not what we're doing here. So I have a little framework to help you. When you're focusing on what you don't have or haven't done yet, you're not thinking from the end result of what you want, because you're just piling on stress and expectations and all that fear and doubt onto yourself. And that vibe is basically, OMG, how can I possibly do this? No. But when you flip it around and instead focus on what you do have going for you, what you have accomplished, every little win starts feeling like proof. In fact, this is why so much research has been done on why practicing gratitude can literally reprogram the way that you think, so that it naturally feels like every little thing you're doing as you're trying to achieve your big goal is progress. This way, you're kind of automatically training yourself to believe that what you want is happening for you, and all you have to do is keep going. But let's be honest, you gotta pair strong mindset with strong action, because mindset alone is rarely enough to get rid of most introverts' biggest fear: talking to strangers. Dun, dun, dun. In fact, that is the main reason I put off starting my first business for over 2 years. It just felt way too scary to think about putting out a social media post and having people I didn't know see it. The horror. Because what if they judge me? Or even worse, what if they reject me or say something mean? That fear was literally paralyzing. But this is where I have to credit another aha to Brad Jacobs' book, because the way that he thinks about it is completely different. Whenever he's looking for a new billion-dollar business to start, because that's just what he does, you want to know the first thing he does? He identifies the top experts in that field and interviews them. He calls them up so he can quickly get up to speed with what's going on and if there's a missing gap that he can build a business to address. And it's so interesting because he sees these interactions in a completely different light. To him, talking to other people makes everything easier, not harder. Because guess what? They've already done the work. Plus, they're so happy to share it because guess what? People love talking about and sharing their experiences. Sure, it's probably a little easier to get access to certain people when you're a billionaire, but you'd be surprised at how many people would be willing to share and talk with you. For me, that mentality has made all this so much less scary. It's like, hey, I'm just gonna talk to people and they're gonna wanna talk to me. No big deal. And instead of making it this big, intimidating thing, you're just viewing it as connecting with other people who share your values and goals. So now, instead of freaking out, which is what I used to do, instead, I like to think about it like this. How can you create a win-win for yourself and for the other person? Whether it's a stranger reading your content, a potential client, or maybe a potential business partner. Because the more you can do that, the more people you'll be able to connect with, the more win-wins we'll all create, and the more we'll all grow together. But that being said, it's one thing to just talk to strangers. It's a whole other thing to promote yourself to them, right? That's where I turned to another amazing book, The Education of Millionaires by Michael Ellsberg. This was one of the first books I ever read about building an online business, and it changed my life. One of my biggest light bulb moments was when he talks about how his wife's health coaching business was struggling. So to help, he took a class on marketing where they challenged him to focus on your customers' fears and dreams that you can help with. Using what he learned, Michael wrote an email for her business that told a personal story about how she'd struggled herself to lose weight. And that single email brought in over $8,000 in sales. The takeaway? That is the power of connecting via marketing. Even more impressive, and let this sink in, this story happened during the 2008 recession. Yet so many people were still buying health coaching because no matter what is going on, there will always be people who want help solving their problems. And this blew my mind back then because it means that no matter what is going on with the world, you will always be able to grow your business if you can master the power of being able to connect with your audience through marketing, plus this other skill that I'm combining here because they're more and more intertwined these days: sales. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know about you, but sales used to always feel like a dirty word to me, kind of like a used car salesman. And who wants to feel like that, right? Thankfully, there is a way to do sales that actually feels pretty darn good. And it's actually pretty simple. Don't think about it as trying to sell. Instead, think about it simply as solving a problem. And through doing that, serving others. And this is not just fancy wordsmithing, because when you think about it this way, the context of what you're doing completely changes. You're not trying to convince someone to buy from you. All you're really doing is listening to what their problem is, why they want to solve it, and what they would love the solution to look like. Then, if your product or service can meet that need, you just share with them how you can help them solve their problem. This is how I've personally gone from dreading and hating sales to loving it and selling over 8 figures in the Luisa Zhou business. So you know what? High five to creating this shift for you too. Now, all of this is fine and good and dandy, but none of it matters if you don't have skill number 4. So tell me if you've done something like this, because I know I have. You say, all right, I am gonna wake up early tomorrow and work out. But then your alarm rings the next morning and you hit the snooze button. While this doesn't seem like a huge deal, it actually has a really harmful effect on you. Because what it's actually doing, aside from getting you a little more sleep, which let's be honest, we could probably all use, is it's chipping away at your trust with yourself. So the next time you want to set a goal, there's now a small seed of doubt there that maybe next time you won't follow through either. So this 4th skill helps you eliminate that doubt so that you can trust that you are going to do what you say you're going to do. And that is the coin of the realm. Back to the working out example. There is something I did that made it a lot easier for me to actually follow through. I'd put out my workout clothes the night before so that as soon as that alarm rang, I would get up, throw on my clothes, and head to the workout. It became literally, hear the alarm, put on clothes. And it became this mini system that kind of eliminated the option of hitting that snooze button. So that's what worked for me. But the key is understanding what will work for you and setting up a system to ensure that you succeed. Having that proof in my life, like with my morning workouts, that I could commit to something no matter how hard it felt or how much I didn't want to do it, helped me a lot when it came to building my business too, like with creating my daily content. Mostly, it gave me a lot of confidence that I could actually do it. Now, the reality was, I was still in a job when I started my first online business, so I couldn't necessarily commit to doing my content first thing in the morning. I can muddle through a workout in the morning, but I am not a morning person where I can do deep creation work. So I committed to creating content after work. The first thing I would do after I got home and ate would be to sit myself down on my gray swivel sofa. And even if it was the only thing I did before I started watching TV, was I would create something and post it. Day by day, that built up my confidence and my trust within myself. Because not only had I built up a system that I knew would set me up for success, I also knew that I would follow through on it because I'd proven to myself that my word is my bond. And ultimately, that is what entrepreneurs like Brad Jacobs and Michael Ellsberg do better than most. It starts with only committing to things that you know you will absolutely follow through on. And then figuring out how to set yourself up so that you can follow through. Before you know it, you are gonna find your confidence building and your ability to do and try bigger things, which is how you grow bigger and faster. These 4 skills can make all the difference in you getting what you want, but you do also have to know what to do with them. That's why in this next video, I walk you through how I run my 7-figure business in less than 20 hours a week. It'll show you how to leverage these skills to build a hugely profitable business that runs on your strengths and your dream schedule.